this is Prometheus. I want to give you a breakdown out of the Cowboys playbook here for Madden 17. This is going to be the iForm Pro. iForm Pro is in a lot of different playbooks. I basically would show running plays, but actually down in the notes I'm going to have a link to how to run the Power O and also how to run the ISO play, which are going to be my base running plays I'm going to go ahead and select. So I'll probably come out of the Power O or maybe the toss first, and then the audible in this particular set is the ISO. So I'm going to break down some of the audibles and also some of the plays, pass plays I'm actually going to go and select. And we'll start with one of our base plays you would select would be Z spot. Now in this particular play I've got random defenses I'm going against, and really my progressions or reads are the following. I like to keep the spot route the way it is. It is a motion play, and you actually will force your opponent to actually go ahead and look at that motion. Now when the ball is snapped, I'm going to watch defenders floating up, particularly the defender that's over Williams, which you can see is highlighted over here. If he floats away, that indicates that I'm zone, and I'm going to go ahead and check it down to either the fullback or to that wide receiver Williams in the spot. Now if a defender is floating down in a zone in a spot, I can always go up a level to Bryant, who should be coming over the middle. So that's going to be my progressions. Now on man, my reads are going to be a little bit different. If it's a man where the defender that's over Williams actually comes down and bites to him, my progressions are either going to be Witten or Bryant over the middle. So let's go ahead and run this play, see your progressions. This is actually man coverage, and I've got the deep slant route, which I got a good catch right here, but I'll show you the read. My read is going to be this wide receiver right here, and I'm going to go ahead and see if his defender actually follows him down. As you can see right here, this defender, number 37, actually comes down and bites, and I've got a man read. So my next progression could either be one of the two following. I can go to the flat, but there's usually a defender out there, and the flat's not going to really get a good yardage. Tight end corner routes have actually been shown in the early release to get good separation, so that could have been a good separation. But the backside of this particular play has a nice deep post route that's actually kind of flat slant route, and right there I got good positioning by Brian. He makes a play on the ball and gives me a good 15 yards. So let's go ahead and run this again a couple times. So once again, my progression is going to be Williams, and actually it looks like we've got zone. It looked like it was a zone blitz, and that's why I'm going to dump it down. That's a harassment route, that's spot route. But I've been running spot routes for quite a long time, and when you start hitting your opponent with that particular play, they're going to have a really hard time stopping it. So right there, I got a man read. I'm actually going and progress back up to the backside where Brian is at, because he's a stud wide receiver. So in a zone kind of coverage right there, I forced the ball in there. Let's take a look at instant replay where I should have went with it. Once again, I'm reading this wide receiver, but as you can see, the defender floats down, and you know, this defender right here is actually playing both the fullback and this tight end, so that actually would not have been a good read. So the next progression would have been able to come over to this wide receiver, and I think because of the way the zones are playing, he probably would have actually gotten a free release to the backside for big plays. So did get rid of the ball fairly quickly, and if you do get rid of the ball fairly quickly on zone coverage, you can sneak the ball into different zones. So the final time we're going to go and run this play, and right here the flat is basically unexposed, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that. So once again, I'm really going to read off that spot route. That's going to determine where I'm going to go with the ball. This particular play can get you just a few yards. It can get you a lot of yards, and you're also going to hit that corner route, which is a drop pass of Witten because they threw in the double coverage. So let's go and jump into the next play. Now, set audibles in this particular play are the quick slants. I don't want to show the quick slants to you. I'm actually going to show you two basic plays. It's going to be the play action scissors, and the other play is going to be the mid attack. So this is a way I can actually go ahead and attack my opponent with a levels concept with a mid attack, going off, starting from my reads from left to right, and then I've also got a way to attack my opponent in levels on the right to left as far as my reads are concerned. So the mid attack, basically I only make one adjustment. I want to go ahead and take my wide receiver and put him in a slant route. And the reason why is that it gives me a levels concept. It actually was going to clear up that fullback route under zone coverage. Now my first read is going to be Brian on the backside because he's got that deep out route against man coverage or basically a naked zone like a cover 3 or something like that. Bryant should be wide open. And then my progressions are going to be Witten, Williams, and then Smith, who's the fullback, would be my final read. So if I don't have a defender that falls out to the out, I'm going to go ahead and take those easy yards because it's just so easy to get yards. So the defender falls down, and once again, I'm going to go ahead and force my opponent to try to defend that. Set up the play by actually going ahead and taking slanted up Williams. And now I've got defenders floating over, and that's where the trail route comes in, where I can actually pick up some pretty good yards with a good. So really my first read is going to be looking over here to the left-hand side. I'm really going to be looking for is these edge rushers right here to see if they fall back in coverage. So Julius Peppers comes in a blitz, but if you can see this guy, he comes floating out, and that just screams to me that he's floating into a purple zone and he's ready to go ahead and intercept that ball for that out route. So that's when I make my progressions off to the right-hand side. So I've got a deep post route. I actually probably could have done a pass lead down and be able to get that in, but the way Madden 17 plays is that you can't really force balls in there. The wide receivers will check down. The next route would be the slant, and actually the slant, because this coverage, the defender floats, it looks like it's some kind of a hybrid coverage. That slant would have been wide open. And I also checked down to the little trail route by the fullback. It gets a good angle. It doesn't hold on to the ball, but it was definitely the right route. So once again, this is going to be the look, and if I get basically the look I'm looking for, I can go ahead and focus on the right or to the left side. But really, it's that outside, that out route by Brian is going to be my first read, and I'm always going to go ahead and take it. If no one comes out to go ahead and defend Brian, I'm going to go ahead and take that easy first step. Now the final play we're going to look at is play action scissors. And this particular play, basically what I like to do first and foremost is go ahead and cancel out the play action. I just don't like the animation. I also like having a guaranteed 6 blocker. And really what I'm going to be doing is going to be looking off to the right hand side to go ahead and see if I get someone to flat. The man coverage beater with that outside corner by the tight end is actually a good read. And I've got another defender, basically the wide receiver that's going to clear that out for me. So as you can see right here, the corner is wide open, and that's going to be able to hit my opponent in another area of the field. Now the backside, I've got that dig route, and if I want to, just to change things up against my opponent and just give him a strange look, I can drag my tight end, and that'll give me a levels concept with Bryant where I can attack my opponent on the inside. And I also have got a fast read with Witten against man coverage, because generally he'll get a free release. And a lot of times what happens is those defenders have to float down and actually take out the drag route. In that particular situation, it didn't happen, but let's go ahead and run this again with taking the play to the other side. As you can see right here, I've got basically the dig route up top on the other side. So there's a bunch of different ways you can run this play. That's why I like having this as an audible, is the play action scissors. I can actually attack my opponent on in the flats or up in the corners, and I've got a nice deep dig route, and I also got a nice big route which with a post, but I generally don't look for that. I want to look for easier passes. So I'm going to be running this in my Cowboy scheme so you can see this particular formation and set. If you're new to my channel and you're looking for full scheme breakdowns, I recommend subscribing, because not only do you see these schemes broken down to you in the practice feature, but you'll see them in live games. You'll see them against live opponents and see how live opponents try to adjust and stop it, and what types of plays actually go ahead and shut these schemes down. So thanks a lot to my subscribers for your support. Go ahead and take a look at the Yut Gaming crew on yutgaming.com. I'm a part of the crew, and we're going to be releasing a lot more tips on the particular website where you can access that type of information. To my subscribers, thank you for your support. Until next time.